So by now, I'm sure everybody's familiar with Olight, but I bet you didn't know they made fixed blade knives as well. Today, we're taking a look at one of their really nice ones. This is the O-Knife Fortitude, a full-tank Cerakote coated fixed blade knife. Let's check it out. All right, folks, welcome back. So before we get too deep into the knife, I wanted to explain to you what Olight has been doing. One of the things they wanted to get into was to sell more outdoor gear. And they recently opened a website called obuy.com. It's obuy.com. I will leave a link down below to that site, and that's where this knife's going to be. I'll also leave a direct link to the knife itself. Very interesting site. If you're interested in some affordable quality titanium, definitely check out obuy.com. They have a ton of different outdoor gear. Some of it is branded for Obuy, and some of it's just other stuff that they have been reselling. And they have some very good prices on things, so I just want to make you aware of it. I don't know if people knew about it. It kind of started out as a members-only type club, and then it grew to what it is now. So you can go there and check it out. And I will, as I said, leave a direct link to this very nice knife here. Now, I got to say, when I got this, I was kind of, you're doubtful when you first get a fixed blade knife from a company that's made pocket knives. Got to say, they outdid themselves with this one. This is really nice. It's D2 steel, really heavy duty looking knife. And I'm going to give you some info on the knife before we go outside and actually test the thing. It's, as I said, D2 steel, full tang design, of course. Got very nice edge retention and high hardness with D2 steel, and you got extreme toughness. One of the things that you will need for an outdoor camp knife or a survival knife is exactly that. You're going to need something you don't need to sharpen every 5 minutes. With D2 steel, it may take a little bit longer to sharpen it, but you definitely will enjoy the fact that you have an edge for a lot longer. Now, this does have a nice G10 handle. It's very contoured, very water resistant. One of the things I like about G10 is that you can get it wet, you can get it dirty. I've gotten oil on them, when I've been, if you have a stainless steel, if you have a blade that's a carbon steel and you're oiling it, you get oil on the scales. Doesn't matter. Fits right in my hand. I have rather large hands, and it fits right in my hand very comfortably. Very easy to carry around, as you can see, big enough hands. Very easy to carry, feels very comfortable in my hand. I have not noticed any hot spots with it. But then again, I haven't really tested it out all that much. Aside from slicing some paper and doing some cardboard stuff, I haven't really tested it out all that much. It came out of the box razor sharp. Now, on the back, you're going to, of course, get a sheath here. Very nice sheath, real Kydex, not plastic. You do have this belt clip on here. You can detach this and do anything else you want on this. You can mount it any way you want. You could mount this way instead of this way and do it as a small the back kind of deal. I like the fact that it's got this these little tech locks on them. They're very easy to deal with, and they are very sturdy. They clip on there well. Sometimes a belt loop or something, it's gonna flop on your pants all day long. These tend to just hold right onto your belt. Now, of course, that depends on what kind of belt you're wearing. I always suggest people get a decent, good, thick, leather, heavy belt if you're going to be carrying anything from a firearm to a knife on your belt. But they do tend to clip against you and hold in place really well. So that's kind of a nice little bonus. It does come with a little patch for Fortitude for the knife itself. And of course the box, which is really just, regular cardboard box. Nothing all that exciting about it. It does have a nice clip point. The top edge is not sharpened. We are going to do a tip test on it. I want to test out that tip and make sure it's not going to bend on me or break on me. But I got a feeling with D2 steel I'm going to be just fine on that. And it is, like I said, it came out razor sharp. Super sharp. So, all in all, really nice looking knife. Nice, feels great in my hand. I'm not a big fan of clip point blades, but not bad. I really don't mind that. As far as a camp knife or a task knife kind of thing, or even a survival knife, I wouldn't hesitate to use it. It does not have what I would say is a super sharp 90-degree spine, so you're not going to be striking ferro rods all that well, but there is a little bit of sharpness up here that you could probably do it. And of course, in a real emergency where you don't care about the edge of the blade, you could do it on the edge of the blade. It does have a little bit of jimping right up in here. It actually kind of fits perfectly because your hand goes there and you got it right on there. So you get a lot of control when you do downward cuts and slicing. So what we're going to do, first off, without going outside, is do my cardboard test. Now, let me tell you something. If there's one thing knives hate, it's cardboard. I've found that over the years. That I'll tell you, I worked in a banquet hall for a big hotel when I worked in New York City, and I ran through so many pocket knives because as banquet servers, we were required to break down the boxes at the end of the night. I ran through pocket knives again. I didn't know what I was doing with them, and I was buying them in cheap, gas station stores, whatever, bodegas, whatever. I wasn't really buying expensive knives. But within a week, these things would be dead. So, with a good steel knife, let's see how it does. Now watch me make a fool of myself here. Right through it. No problem at all. Cutting right through there. Let's see, get that edge off there. Yep, no problem at all. And amazingly enough, the blade feels super, super sharp. Yep, really nice. So, okay, definitely passed that test. I cut a little bit of cardboard, and I didn't end up having to re-strop it for an hour. All right, let's take it outside. You guys notice, too, you might notice the coloring on this. This is Cerakote, so you will have a nice, long-lasting finish. Now, you will get some marks on it, while you're using it. That's no big deal, but Cerakote really does stand up to a lot of abuse, and also, too, a lot of that just can be rubbed off. I don't really care about that much. As long as it protects the knife itself, I don't really care about how it looks because we're going to be using it as a tool. So let's get this outside and let's test it out and see just how well this thing works. All right, so we're out here now. Hopefully the mic is working good. I'm using a new mic these days, and it is very directional. So if I fade in and out, that's why I'm moving away from it. We're going to try batoning some wood, but first I want to do a tip test here. I'm going to drive this in here and just see how that tip does. It looks like I got my friend the dog back. Okay, I'm not seeing any damage to it. You can see it, but I'm not seeing any damage to it myself. I gotta kind of look at it myself and then show it to you guys. Okay, so it seems to do okay with that. Let's try batoning some wood here. It's definitely cutting right through it, no problem at all. This is old dry wood, however. But we're definitely getting through it, no problem. Whoop, my fault. There we go. Now, if I want to take one of these pieces of wood and, say, make a tent stake or something, I'm going to try and carve it down a little. Definitely make some curls with it. I can see that already. I'm going to carve this down and make a little tent stake out of it. See how that goes. Kind of doing it a little more controlled here because I want to get a sharper edge so I can drive it into the ground if I needed to. But you can see it just cuts through the wood, no problem at all. Alright. There we go. Got a little knot at the end of that piece of wood there. There we go. Alright. So if I'm going to notch this, just kind of drive in a little notch there. Okay. So if I want to tie anything around that after I drive it into the ground. Now, of course, I'll probably make a sharper point there. So let me play around with this a little bit and bring you back once I get something worthwhile. So now, well, not my proudest woodwork. There we go. I guess that would work. Notching it was actually pretty cool. This wood is really, really dry. So I find when I notch it, it just kind of cracks. But it's definitely been working well. Been able to baton down some more wood. I'm actually having fun just playing with it a little bit. There we go. The wrong piece of wood. There we go. I'm actually just having fun playing with it. So what I'm going to try to do is make some curls with it. And so far I have no hot spots, nothing hurting on my hand, nothing irritating, no kind of damage to the edge. It's still super, super sharp. We'll test that when we go inside. But just going to finish up making some curls out here with the best I can with this old dry wood. And see how we do. Not bad. It is really dry, so it's not going to curl up nicely and look pretty, but definitely got a bunch of curls coming off there. So it's definitely retained its sharpness and its edge really, really well, even after all that beating and pounding and batoning. So I definitely like it. Now I'm going to try really quick. I don't know if it's going to work. I'm going to try quick to see if I can get a spark off it. I saw a couple sparks flying away. So what I'm going to do is fluff up one of these little fire plugs from Bigfoot Bushcraft, and we'll try it out down here. All right, so while we know that this doesn't have a perfect 90-degree spine at all, it is a little sharp on the edge, so I'm just going to see if I can manage. And this is a new ferro rod too, so let's break it in, see if we can get some sparks going. I saw something burning. We'll get the sparks. We'll put it on here. There we go. So yeah, it actually will strike a ferro rod, although probably a lot easier to just use a regular striker. But hey, even got a fire going. And check on the edge there. Yeah, still super sharp. I don't know if you can see, but there's no chips or anything out of it. Again, not abusive testing. I'm not going to jam this thing through ammo cans and try to destroy it. But for what it is, it seems to be a very good, handy, reliable knife. So let me let this thing burn out here, and I will bring you back inside and we'll finish up. All right, so we're back inside. The knife really looks none worse for the wear. You can see a little bit of the marks on the Cerakote from, and this is the side I put oil on, so you can hardly see anything here. So a little bit of oil and it'll just disappear. Really not a big deal, but I know people kind of, when they hear of a coating, they might get nervous and think that it's going to come off when they use the knife. And as you can tell, that tip stood up perfectly. Blade's nice and sharp still. Now what I wanted to do before I did any kind of stropping or touching this up, before I put it away from my use, is do a little quick paper test. There we go. Nice and sharp. Still nice and sharp, even after all that abuse out there. Let's see if I can do it. Yep, that's right through it. So it is still super, super sharp, and I can feel it. Let's see if I have any hair left to test. It's still shaving hair. Yep, still shaving hair off there, as you can see on the blade. So, still super sharp even after all that use out there. And again, I don't do like super abusive knife tests, and I'm not a knife guy where my whole channel revolves around knives. So, for me and what I'm going to be using this for, this is the kind of use I'd use on it every day. Aside from maybe chopping down some wood, small branches and stuff to start a fire, I really can't think of much more I'd do with it. Maybe cutting some paracord, stuff like that, common camp tasks. And for that, I would say this is a perfect companion. It was nice in my hand, didn't feel any hot spots, didn't feel any kind of injury anywhere. You do have a little lanyard loop here too if you want to use it. So let me give you some final information on the blade itself, and then I'll give you the price on it. Well, I'll give you the price first. These run $89.99. Now, for a D2 steel, pretty decent knife. I got to say, that's a good deal. I will put a link down below directly to it, along with the Obuy store. You can go to the Obuy store and check out all the other stuff they have, because they have, like I said, they got titanium galore, and they've got all sorts of sleeping bags, camp stuff, tents, everything. So if you're interested in survival gear, it's a good place to shop. Pretty good deals too. I gotta say, I didn't see any real bad prices there, so all in all, pretty good. So these are $89.99, so figure $90 once you get shipping and everything in there. Now, the weight on this is 7.14 ounces, okay, excluding the sheath. 10.89 ounces, including the sheath. So blade thickness, 0.15. Handle length, 4.72. Blade length, 4.27. And overall length is 8.9 inches. Again, G10 on the back, D2 steel in the front. And the hardware, the Rockwell, I always mess that up. The Rockwell hardness test was 60 HRC plus or minus 2. So definitely a hard knife. A little bit more challenging to sharpen, but not much. And it will hold your edge a whole lot longer than, say, 1095 steel or whatever. So I definitely like it. And I did wear it out there with the clip on my hip when we were out there testing. And it was easy to pop back in the holster. Real easy in the sheath. And all in all, good little knife. Really impressed with it. I'm going to be using it more on the channel. I'm going to try and focus on a lot of the O knives, because I don't know if they're making them or whoever's making them for them, but they're coming out with really good quality stuff. So that's the deal. This is the O Knife Fortitude. Again, there'll be a link to the Obuy store. That's their new store. And below that will be a link directly to the knife if you're interested in picking one up. I got to say, I really like the thing. I mean, it's really comfortable in my hand. Even in my left hand, it's really comfortable. You see my hand just wraps right around there. I'm not hanging in the breeze with my pinky. I actually have a place to put my pinky, so I definitely like it. Anyway, folks, thank you for watching. Links will be down below. Don't forget to check out all our other links as well, our Amazon affiliate link. If you want to help us out, you can use that. Just do your regular Amazon shopping. You don't have to buy anything that's in my store. Just click the link and shop as you normally would on Amazon. Below that is our freeze-dried wholesaler link. Definitely check that out. We've got 15% off for using my link. There's no code. You just click that link, you go to the site, shop what you want, go to the checkout, and you'll see my discount for 15% right there on the site. Below that is our My Patriot Supply link, okay? Last day of this month, you can get in on $250 off on a 3-month kit if you have no food at all prepared, okay? Really, really simple. With My Patriot Supply and the Ready Hour Foods, you can order a 3-month supply and you get $250 off. Now, it was affordable to begin with, so this makes it super affordable for a 3-month kit. We also have some deals on some other stuff as well as a 4-week kit that has $50 off too. So check that out in our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store. Anyway, folks, thanks for hanging out with me today. Have a happy Halloween. Stay safe and stay prepared.